Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex. Another day, therefore another video. And Abomination still has that weird stuttering thing, but today we're going to be talking about Red She-Hulk. She is the other new character introduced in this update along with Emil Blonsky Abomination. And interestingly, although she is billed as a bio-subscription character, and you can of course go into the daily perks tab here and go over here and see her listed, you can also get her for a limited time only. I will stress that, for a limited time only. Only for the next 27 days can you get her for free. Now you're not going to unlock her at maximum rank for free, but you're going to be able to get 10 biometrics for her very quickly if you play like a day or two's worth of content, and then if you play through the rest of the days, you'll be able to get another 20 biometrics at around rank 31 for the future pass, which will probably take you about a week of playing. So even if you only pick up the game again in 3 weeks from now, you will still be able to, at minimum, unlock the character because the first 10 bios appear at the very beginning of the future pass. I think this is a fantastic thing for Netmarble Monster to do. This video is about the character itself, but I just really want to highlight this acquisition method, having the character be paid later, but giving the character away for free in some form at the beginning of an update for the first 2-3 weeks of the update for players who are constantly playing. This is the right way of doing things, right? So that if you have players who are taking a break or you have players who are coming in later, then they can pay for the character if they want to catch up. But otherwise, if you're playing all the time, you have that reward and you have that incentive to continue playing all the time. So there we go. We can upgrade to the future pass to get all these amazing rewards. No thanks, I'm good. But anyways, we've got our Red She-Hulk. There we go. 10 out of 10, so we can automatically unlock her. And now from here, you have a couple of options. You can buy a bio subscription, and for $10, or in my case, $14, if I buy that bio subscription, I'll be able to continue collecting 20 biometrics for Red She-Hulk every single day, and then I'll be able to get her to 6 stars at the very end of the month, or at the end of 30 days, which is whatever, the middle of, or the beginning of July, or no, the beginning of August. We're in July, Alex. Yeah, so August 1st. Oh yeah, happy Canada Day. Anywho, but what's way easier is to just buy the Legendary Future Pass. It's the same price. I've talked about this before in a video, but it's the exact same price as the bio subscription, but it contains a mega rank up ticket, which is going to do all of the things that the bio subscription does anyways, if you're just going to pick one character for the full 30 days, and then you get all of these other delicious rewards. So pretend I had bought the Legendary Pass. We go over to, oh, she's gone. Tragedy. I did not favorite her. Here you go. We go back to Red She-Hulk. We go ahead and rank her up using rank up tickets. This time around, I'm going to use regular rank up tickets because I have a ton of them, but this would be the same thing as using a mega rank up ticket. And then you basically have the option of using a, you can then, from here, you could then use a bio subscription again. So if you use the Legendary Pass, then you could use the bio subscription and start collecting bios for her gears to get her gears to 20. That'll probably take you about 2 to 3 weeks, depending on your luck. And then you can use a regular tier 2 rank up ticket that they give for free each month as part of the regular monthly check-in, which is just like the standard default calendar that we have over here. We've had for like 3-4 years now. This one right here, you get a tier 2 ticket at the end, but I'm going to skip all that. I have a 6-star level 1 Red She-Hulk. I'm going to use a mega tier 2 ticket. I have 2 left. We're probably going to be getting one in the next token event for the Hulk with the Hulk icon, which is going to be coming in like a week. And then we're also getting a Mega Tier 2 as a first clear reward for Stage 35 of Shadowland. So they are giving away Mega Tier 2 tickets like crazy. So we're going to pop this off. There we go. That's the thing with Marvel Future Fight is the game has progressed so much that Tier 1 characters are pretty useless at this point for anything besides Shadowland and just leaderships. If you're going to use a character beyond very low stages of Shadowland, I'm talking, under 25, or you're not going to use a character for their leadership, basically most passive effects don't work at Tier 1. They only work at Tier 2 for ones that apply to all allies, and Red She-Hulk is no different. So if you take a look at her Tier 1 passive, so if I would just take her to, let's say, 6 stars, level 60, or whatever, level 60. So she's still Tier 1. You can see her passive only applies to herself. But then you take her to Tier 2, and suddenly it applies to all allies, like Colossus, like so many other characters. So we have our Tier 2 Red She-Hulk. She's got 16,000 physical attack, 37,000 HP, a lot of HP. Her passive does give her and all allies 30% HP, which is like Victorious, and 10% damage received. So she's actually better than Victorious as a support. But then she has a nice leadership. She boosts fire damage and she increases HP. You could even use her as a leadership for Jean Grey if you didn't want to use Jean Grey's debuff leadership, because she would buff Jean Grey's tier 3 skill, not her passive, her tier 3 skill. And she would give her an additional 55% HP, which is pretty crazy. Now, as far as her skills go, she has regular fire damage on everything, and then she's got some additional really nice effects. I believe the third skill has accumulation. Yeah, she's got accumulation, and she's got a heal, and she's got super armor all defense. And, and she has 5 seconds of immunity. Really, really good defensive, offensive skill. This skill will accumulate damage based on how much you are dealt, how much damage you take. So you just got to stand there and not iframe for a little bit. We have penetration chance here. Oh wow, it goes up to barrier, shield, and immune. That's not bad. 4 seconds of penetration. That's not bad. Low cooldowns, very low cooldowns, 12 and 13 seconds, and then 15 seconds. So very, very low cooldowns. Easy to spam her skills. She's got another buff here, and then I believe her tier 2 passive gives her additional buffs in addition to 10% crit rate. And I believe that crit rate does not show up. Yeah, it looks like it does not show up. She's got 4% there. Maybe it does. 12%. 27. I would need to take a look at a naked character, basically. I'm actually not sure if it does apply. 44. Okay, I'll figure that out later. Maybe someone in the comments knows. I'm not actually sure. I can't actually remember. It's been a long time since we've had a character that has crit rate as a passive effect on their tier 2 passive. This doesn't happen very often, so I'm actually not 100% sure. But let me figure out an ISO 8 set for her, and I'll be back in a second. And of course, when I said we were going to try to find an ISO 8 set, I meant gamble for one. So we spent about 3 million gold fixing up her ISO 8 set and giving her some amplified Uru slots. We got Power of Angry Hulk, which is what I think is probably best for her. I've seen some of her animations in videos, and from the limited testing I did in the APK, she has some pretty long skill animations. For the Uru, we just went for 4 amplified slots, and then we threw on some physical attack. I re-rolled her utility belt, like Batman, over to ignore defense, so now she is rocking just barely capped ignore defense. 47.5 cooldown, which is fine, and then the crit rate and the crit damage are just whatever. The attack speed is 122. She has 3 abilities, which gives her a bit more resistance, a bit more attack, and a bit more defense. And then for the obelisk, I just went with a fire damage, 32% fire damage, 120 proc. Nothing spectacular, but I just want to see how she functions. For those of you wondering if you should get her as a standalone character. Now, obviously, if you want to get her as a leadership, she seems to be a solid leadership addition to the game, because of the fact that she has fire damage and max HP. So it's going to buff up pretty much any character that does fire damage as one of the top passives in the game, or as one of the top leaderships in the game for raw damage, on top of the fact that she gives an extra 20%. Actually, she'll be under potential. She gives an extra 25% HP. So very, very strong leadership. I believe only Satana has a higher fire damage buff, which is 70%, but she does not give the 25% HP, and actually the 65% HP. So that is important to acknowledge. You also do have Ghost Panther, who gives 50% as part of his passive, and then another 30. So technically, if you use Ghost Panther lead and passive, it's 80% fire damage and 15% crit rate and extra damage against villains. But yeah, not exactly, you're sort of mixing around his passive with his leadership, but it does work. So we're going to bring in Valkyrie, and we're going to bring in, you know what, she's a hero. Keep this in mind. Red She-Hulk is a hero. She's not a villain. So we can use Coulson, which is kind of strange. But yeah, we're going to use Coulson. I don't want to use, I believe she doesn't have all defense down. We don't want to use Abomination because he's going to strike for her and he has all defense down. That's the one thing she's missing. So I suspect her damage is not going to be that good. We're going to try a stage 50. I'm cautiously optimistic. She's got, what, like 100% fire damage, 65% from herself, in addition to the 30% there. So she's just under 100% fire damage, 55% HP, 120 damage proc. But my guess is she's not going to do very well here. But let's see. So we want to take damage. Yeah, okay. And then we want to proc maybe on 5. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, then we want to do maybe 4. Oh, whoa. Okay. Okay, that's too much damage. So where you want to do 4 maybe? So 5 and 4 are both iframes. So when exactly do you get the accumulation off? But whoa, her damage is pretty good. Very high damage per hit. I guess you do 2. So I guess you proc on 5. I'm not really sure about the slowdown. The proc is kind of awkward. Now I think she could work with a regular proc. Why is there this like really... There's a lot of slowdown. Did we just proc again? Okay, I seem to be way off the proc here. Okay. Oh. Okay, that was okay. All right, is it just me or do you guys hate the slowdown? I don't know why she has this like weird slowdown, but okay, we just procced accidentally on 3. We just procced again. Why do I keep... We just procced again? What is going on? How is she proccing this many times? Okay, I'm mixing up the insight proc with her real proc. I see. Yeah, I'm not sure though. I hate the slowdown. I really don't like the slowdown. There's her regular proc. I don't like the slowdown on the 5th skill. And oh man, I really hate that. And she has iframes on 5 and 4, so I'm not really sure when you're supposed to accumulate damage taken. Now the thing is, the fire lava that she creates at the end of the 5th skill, this seems like it does a lot of damage. I could be wrong, but it seems like it does a lot of damage. However, she's got a lot of like almost 100,000 damage per hit on these skills. But it seems like just like Abomination, you just want to do 5 and 4. Now, a moving target is going to be worse for her, as you can see if Proxima continues to move out of the lava, because the lava can do additional damage, right? But I hate this slowdown. I don't like it. Oh man, that's a bummer. I don't like it. She definitely plays differently than Abomination, but this, I don't know if this slowdown thing is intentional, if they're trying to make the character different or something, but this is mega annoying. Yeah, I don't like this, man. That sucks. Yeah, you guys might enjoy playing as her, but I don't know if I will. Because I don't like this slowdown thing here. It makes it feel like your device is lagging. She's got a lot of damage though. Wow, I'm shocked. Survivability is there too, but when are you supposed to get hit? Are you supposed to do 1 into or 3 into 2? When are you supposed to get that accumulation? We're proccing on 3. Like we're proccing on the wrong skill right now. It seems like I hate to say it, but it seems like a rage might be better for her. Just so that you can proc. Oh, she's got nice attack. She's got nice movement speed. Very nice movement speed. Yeah, it seems like rage might be better for her because you can sort of proc on, you know, 1, 2, and 3 where you have your iframe, where you don't have your iframe, so you can get the accumulation, and then you can go into 5 and 4 while the rage proc is still active. But yeah, I goofed around. We messed up, and we're getting through this, you know, in 2 minutes or less, and that's with mistakes. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of that slowdown. Yeah, that slowdown is mad annoying. I don't think she can do any damage to... I'm pretty sure she can't do any damage to Ebony because she deals physical elemental damage. You have to deal energy elemental damage, but we're just going to very briefly demo this just out of curiosity. But yeah, that slowdown is mucho annoying. And you know what? So that I don't confuse myself again, because I seem to be having a senior moment here. We're gonna bring in Shuri, so that we don't confuse her proc with the insight proc, because I confused that like 3 or 4 times during the video already. But that slowdown, is it just against Proxima? That's also something I want to see, if that slowdown on her 5th skill is on the skill itself. She has very high movement speed though. Yeah, I don't like this, man. I don't know. You know what? She can actually do some decent damage. This is a pretty low stage though, so maybe it's just my resistance and my conqueror level that are, or my raid level that are high enough, my valor. But yeah, she can do some damage here. Not much. Yeah, she's got long animation on 4. And the animation on 5 is not long, but it's long because it's slow. As soon as she lands, you probably want to cancel the end of 5 where she kicks and the lava shows up. You probably want to cancel that into 4 and proc on that. So right there, and then proc right there on those 2 skills while the lava from the 5 is going. Just like Cosmic Ghost Rider, that lava, just like Molten Man as well. Those lava effects are they're not just for show. That indicates high damage. But I can't seem to get it now. Definitely harder to... It's interesting to play this character right after Abomination because you can feel the discomfort. Maybe you can feel it coming through the video. I'm not comfortable playing as this character. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm not saying she's a bad character. I'm just saying that I'm uncomfortable playing as her. Although the rotation is exactly the same, 3, 5, 4, it's exactly the same as what I was doing for Abomination. But if you go and you watch that video and you compare, it's completely different. Abomination feels fluid and smooth, 3, 5, 4. The skills feel like they were made to be comboed, and he jumps up and down, and then he slams forward, and he sort of jumps and he leaps towards the enemy, and he has this sort of... It's almost like he's magnetically linked to the enemy. He's always pretty close to them. Abomination, I mean. On the other hand, she almost feels like, I don't know, it feels like she's just attacking, but whether the enemy is there or not, she's gonna do her thing. And I really hate the time slowdown on Blade Eruption. I really hate that. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but I really have to emphasize how much I hate this because I don't want to. I hope not to see this on more characters. It's extremely jarring. It's extremely jarring to be playing a character at full speed, right? All of her other skills are full speed. You see this full speed, right? Full speed, full speed, full speed, and then what happens here? She just goes like super slow. It feels like my phone's lagging every 7 or 8 seconds. I don't personally like that. However, her damage did impress me. Compare her to Abomination, right? He has a support passive which she doesn't have. So she didn't have the increased damage. I mean, I compensated with Coulson, but she didn't have the chain hit damage. She does not have the all defense down. That's an important factor to consider. So she's doing considerably similar damage to him without the minus 60% all defense down. So with all defense down as a striker, I think she could do very high stages, and she's also shown that she can do very high damage for Alliance Battle Extreme. So if you don't have a female combat character for Alliance Battle Extreme and you're trying to get 600,000 points or higher, you could consider getting her. The day just passed, but it was tested yesterday, and she was able to score up to 3 million with a maximum build, which is comparable, very comparable to tier 3 Crescent with a CTP of Rage. So theoretically, she does as much or more damage than Crescent does, and Crescent relies on all defense down on her tier 3 skill to do a lot of her damage and rack up a lot of her score. So Red She-Hulk, very strong character, seems to be also a leadership character, also a support character with these HP buffs, and I would say possibly a better support for Immortal Hulk than Abomination. And depending on when we're getting that Red Hulk Venom Ghost Rider, what is it called? The Symbiote of Vengeance. Depending on when we're getting that uniform, she could be the best lead in the game for him. Because presumably if that character does damage based on HP as well, then it would mean that Red She-Hulk was basically made for him as a leadership / support. So interesting thing to consider. Like imagine if Immortal Hulk had fire damage. She would give him like fire damage based on HP, right? So it's scaled with elemental and HP. That would be bonkers. Maybe the Symbiote of Vengeance is going to do that. I'm just speculating, but I think she's a solid character. I think she's worth the investment if you have the resources, or if you like, you don't mind spending a little bit of money. You like the Captain America icon that you can get from the Legendary Pass, so you have a lot of Mega Rank Up tickets, Mega Tier 2 tickets. They've been giving them out a lot lately. She's not the best character in the game to use it on. She's not better than Mystique. She might not be better than Abomination and Nick Fury and things like that, but I think she's solid in her own right and she has value. I just really don't like her playstyle. I don't know how much I'm going to personally play with her because of the slowdown and that like time freeze on her 5th skill. But yeah, interestingly enough, the comparison will, I think, stick in my mind for a while. So let me know what you guys think of Red She-Hulk. I know I said I asked you guys about Apocalypse last time instead of Abomination. My bad. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.